something about, is it Dennis Arms? Who is the company that made that's in hot water right now because their gun?
Oh, Daniel Defense.
Daniel Defense. Thank you. They're blaming Daniel Defense for this.
I think that someone was filing a suit against
Daniel Defense. Now they're small-ish. No, yes.
I don't know how big they are. I've been to their. I don't know if it's their only factory or their only like production place, but it was enormous. You know, not for a firearm company. For that is what it is. They were. I want to say they were making their own barrels in there. Like I toured that place 10 years ago or something. But they were really nice to me, and they gave me a bunch of guns and plenty of money. And whenever I was like, "Hey, could you just like make my guns Red Tiger?" They were like, "Sure," and they just did. They just painted all the AR-15s Red Tiger.
Nice.
So that's my experience with those gentlemen. They're real nice folks. I don't know if I get behind the whole idea of suing a gun manufacturer for something that someone does with it. Now, if the gun explodes and hurts you, then you sue the gun manufacturer. It didn't operate as intended, right?
Right.
The same way if your car explodes,
the brakes not working.
The brakes don't work. You know, hey, the brakes are supposed to stop the car. They didn't stop the car. I hit a pole. I'm hurt. You're getting sued, Ford. But you don't sue Ford when somebody runs people over. And I know I don't like to make the car and gun thing because they're
I love to make it.
They're not equals. But in this instance, when we're talking about whether the manufacturer is liable or should be liable in some way when someone uses their thing, whatever it is, to do crimes, I don't understand how you can sue the guy who made the gun if you can't sue the guy who made any other weapon that was used in a crime. Can you sue a kitchen knife company?
Cutco, yeah.
And I'm being genuine here when I ask that question. I'm not trying to be silly about this. If you can sue the gun guy, why can't you sue the knife guy?
Yeah, no, I think that it's kind of a weird idea to try and sue the gun manufacturer because all the process, like them creating the weapon within the confines of whatever they're allowed to do is the problem, not like them having the sale go through. There's other, like, it's kind of like saying like, well, they did everything that they were allowed to do and something went wrong, horribly wrong, so therefore they should be held at fault. I think it's probably, there's better areas to direct, like,
I hear where you're
like
going.
to make.
You're almost trying to legislate via the court in that instance, though. You don't like the law the way it is, so you want to use the court to punish them anyway.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, legislate from the court.
I mean, that's the point. Common. Yeah, no, but I'm saying that. Yeah, I'm saying it's not fair, but like that is one way that people see as effective. Because like, what's the other?
But it's like suing, and again, like to keep the car analogy going, an AR-15 might be the Corvette of guns. Like if you want to do that, I can think of so many more scary guns than an AR-15. But if it's being portrayed as like this big bad scary gun that's too scary and scarier than guns need to be, the Corvette is the equivalent of that in the car world. Like
it could be like it could be like the Juul stuff. You remember how like cigarette companies couldn't advertise and there was strict stuff around that, but when Juul came in with like flavored packs that ended up being deemed as like targeting people who were not necessarily like addicted to tobacco products or whatever. I think maybe that's a way that you could look at it.
Firearm companies are great about that, though. And it's the idea of someone buying one before they're able to has always been weird to me. I don't know how they manage it. I do like the idea of making the purchase age 21. And I know we were talking about this before the show, and it's like, the military is 18, though. We just talked about the military for half an hour and how important it was from World War II and those other wars. And like
keep it 18. You can make dumb kids throw their life away, no problem. All right, but like it's a problem when you let them walk in and they buy it. All right, you gotta wait those 3 developmental years till they make the decision.
See, I don't think I think it should probably stay 18. Like if you can go fight in the military, you should. You should be able to purchase. Then either make the military.
I used to agree with you. Yeah, I used to agree with you, but I think you're falling under that 2 wrongs don't make a right thing. It's like it's wrong to send the 18-year-olds to war, and it's just as wrong to let an 18-year-old buy an AR-15. I think that's kind of where like if you really think about
yeah,
it,
you don't need it to be all one or the other.
Here's my issue with Kyle's position, and I think Kyle's made this point before. When you start saying, oh, okay, so now you have to be 21 to buy this kind of gun, then the gun manufacturers get very clever in how they circumvent that law.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to make an AR-15 that could be sold in Australia. Like we came up with a way to make a pump action AR-15. Do you know how fast you can shoot a pump action? I think that was what I had come up with. I had somebody designing it. Like this is
probably fast. I've seen people shoot bolt actions on YouTube.
I can
super duper
trust me.
Yeah, I've been training since I was
14. I've been playing big game hunter all the time, so I'm prepped. I'm ready to go.
Now that I'm 31, I think we should make 31 the age for everything.
I used to use a pump shotgun for like sporting clays and stuff, just to kind of like show off, I guess. And I can pump that thing so goddamn fast because I know exactly how far to pull back and exactly how far to pull forward, and exactly when I can do that after I pull the trigger. It's like boom, chick, boom. It's so goddamn fast. But so yeah, I think gun manufacturers will always find a way, and not just gun manufacturers. Like we think of them as like big corporations. Most gun manufacturers are these little boutique things that make a couple thousand guns.
Yeah, they're not very big manufacturers. It's funny that I don't know.
I don't
know
why
military companies never come under.
Yeah, they do. No, they absolutely do.
Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Boeing.
Okay, well,
the ones that actually kill millions of people.
I was talking about gun. Yeah. Well, you know, I can't buy a fucking Predator drone, unfortunately.
You should be able to.
I agree with that. I think if I get licensed, actually, you know, the thing is, you can. If you get the licensing, you can have a Predator missile or whatever you want. You can have anything at all that you want if you get the licensing. Because, and I say that because the people who make them
40-year long con just to Predator strike my neighbor.
like the people who make them are all civilians. The military doesn't make its own shit. You know, like these companies do. Like you just mentioned, and the people that are there making missiles and rockets are just regular people. They're doing what they're doing because they have the licensing to do so. And anybody can obtain that licensing if you can put forward a business plan. If you're like, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z.
Like War Dogs. Great movie.
No, not like War Dogs. That's like international. That's Interpol shit.
I know that was the only reference I had off the top of my head to
like what I did, where you know I just had every license you could imaginably have. So I mean, I could have made missiles if I'd wanted.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have smoked weed first. Then,
I know.
You know.
Wow. Huge oversight.
Smoking
the safest drug out there.
Thank God we stopped him.
What we want you to do, Kyle, is just get good and lit on Johnny Walker Black and then shoot your guns legally. And they're like, no, I just want to get a little high. Oh, well, you're going to jail.
Nobody's ever, you get halfway through building the Predator missile and be like, I'm just going to go play some Legos. Like, I'm tired of her.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. I like that one.
That's fair enough. So yeah, I don't know about suing the gun manufacturers. It just doesn't make sense. And I get that people want some kind of an answer for all this. I just don't know how you buy the guy that makes how you blame the guy who made the gun.